We step into the world of big dreams, big moves, and big money. It's the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. After 40 years, the Big Cheese remains dedicated to serving the finest Italian dinners, pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. All of their pasta is imported from Italy and cooked fresh every day. Visit BigCheeseMiami.com. Now, let's find out who's the Big Cheese the Miami Hurricanes are working on with insider Manny Navarro.
Right, subject number one has to be quarterback Cam Ward is gone. He carried Mario Cristobal this season and that team. Can they find somebody else to carry and hide all their deficiencies here on the BigCheese.com, BigCheeseMiami.com NIL and recruiting report, Mr. Navarro?
Well, certainly Miami fans have their fingers crossed after watching the second half of that game and seeing the offense really sputter with Emory Williams at the controls. Look, Miami's going to have a really good offensive line next year, in my opinion. I think they will be one of the top three in the conference in terms of experience and starts and all of that kind of stuff. They're going to have a really good backfield. So there is a nice little balance I think they can have. They don't have to go out and get a guy who throws for 4,000 yards for this offense to be good. They can be good running the football and running stuff out play action. So I will say that at the start. Now, is that guy available? That is the burning question. Now, there's message boards have been blowing up this week with rumors that Jayden Maiava, the quarterback at USC, would be a guy who would enter the portal and come over here. And look, there's a lot of reasons to believe it. Number one, Maiava was going to take a trip to Miami last year before Miami ended up getting Cam Ward in January. He's a kid who was a star at UNLV, transferred out, looking for a new school. Miami was on the radar for him. But ultimately, once Miami got Cam Ward, he saw the writing on the wall, decided to go to USC and compete with Miller Moss for the starting job. Didn't win the starting job, ended up replacing Miller Moss with 4 games left, played well, 11 touchdowns, 6 picks, threw 4 touchdown passes in the bowl win over Texas A&M. So he looked good against an SEC school. But ultimately, he's got a deadline to enter the transfer portal. The date for everybody was December 28th. Everybody who played in a bowl game gets 5 days after that. USC played December 27th. So technically, the deadline for Jayden Maiava to enter the transfer portal was yesterday, January 2nd. Now, sometimes this stuff can be processed a little bit later. So everybody looking at the clock saying, well, he's not in the portal yet. I will tell you, as long as he informed USC that he was leaving, then it's possible that it could be Jayden Maiava. There are other guys that I think Miami is also considering that are still playing football. One of them is Quinn Ewers from Texas. Quinn Ewers, everybody knows Arch Manning is going to take over at the University of Texas next season. Quinn Ewers, I don't know if he's a first-round pick or not, but he did win his last 2 starts, and Texas is moving on in the playoffs to the semifinals. They have a chance to win a national championship, so we will see what happens with him. Carson Beck is another name that was out there.
By the way, he does Dr. Pepper commercials.
Yes, he does do Dr. Pepper
Just
commercials.
want to make sure. We got to throw that important stat out there. All right, go ahead.
Carson Beck from Georgia is another guy. Of course, he's dating one of the Cavender twins. Injured his elbow, lost for the season. Debate about whether or not he'll still be a first round or even day 2 pick at this point. If he decides to continue his college career somewhere else.
They missed him yesterday.
Yes. Certainly did not look like a good offense yesterday against Notre Dame. And then one other name to throw out there, Mark Gronowski from South Dakota State, who entered the portal. He's another guy like Cam Ward, started at the FCS level, threw for over 10,000 yards at South Dakota State, 93 touchdowns, ran for over 1,000 yards as well, 20 touchdowns on the ground. So there are available names out there potentially, and I think there's a lot of confidence internally at Miami from people who give money to the program that one way or another, that Miami will end up finding a quarterback to come in and compete or certainly win the job over Emory Williams. We will see what happens, but I think that hopefully answers your question as far as names that are out there and potential landing spots.
Although the Carson Beck thing's a little screwed up, right? Because which one is it, Haley or what is it?
I'm not sure sure which sister it is. Maybe it's the one who's scoring all the points.
Haley is smoking. She's smoking hot. No, I'm saying like she's smoking like on the floor. She is kicking.
Yes, she's been playing really well.
Her sister's not as good as her. She's really good.
Right.
So I don't know which one they're going out. But our luck isn't this like their final year of eligibility anyway? So it really won't matter if he comes back next year. The Cavender twins aren't going to be here next year, actually. So
they'll get to stay. What the girlfriend will get to stay home with them, right? I mean, what are they going to go to the WNBA and tear it up? I don't know that any of them are.
One of them might be on the bench in the WNBA.
Maybe.
Haley might make it.
I'm not sure which sister it is, by the way. So
I know it's Haley. I can tell you that I'm sorry, the one playing well. I was going to say the one hot, but they're both good looking. So the Haley is the one. I that's why I don't remember the other one. Because Haley's the one that's constantly scoring and playing well. So I don't know which one he's going on with, but we lose that hook next year because they're not going to be on campus, bro.
Right.
Damn it. So, that would – do you think they got a shot at any of these? Because I would imagine the money offers are going to be out there also. That's the other thing that Miami is going to be competing with.
That's always the issue, right? But again, I think for somebody who looks at Miami and looks at what they accomplished last year, that's why in the previous segment we talked about this. I think there's enough proof of concept, right? And certainly wide receivers, they've got some young, talented guys. I think JoJo Trader's an NFL type guy that can develop in this system. They already picked up CJ Daniels from LSU, who was highly productive in his career in college. He's a veteran guy. So it's not like they don't have receivers. They've got a really good offensive line. They've got running backs. Whoever comes in here should be able to succeed. Like the only way you don't is because you're not good. So I think it's an attractive enough job that they can land somebody. The question is it anybody who's half as good as Cam Ward or just a guy? And if it's just a guy, then don't be a guy who turns it over. And I think Miami's fine with that.
All right. USC, a former USC receiver visiting Miami.
Yeah, Zachariah Branch and his brother Zion Branch, two of the All-Americans from a couple cycles ago in 2022. Zachariah is the prize here. He's a top 5 player in the transfer portal. They both went to Las Vegas, Bishop Gorman, which has been a breeding ground for Hurricanes here in the last few years. Miami got Brevin Jordan. They now got Elijah Lofton from Bishop Gorman. They got a center, an All-American center, who's coming in now as a true freshman, all from Gorman. So they've got a nice little connection there. Both of these guys, to me, from what I had heard through the transfer portal reporting and rumor mill, was that they were headed to Tennessee. Branch has a connection with Nico Iamaleava, the quarterback there. Tennessee badly needs a star slot receiver. Their offense didn't look very good in that game against Ohio State. So I think there's a reason why Tennessee was the favorite, but we will see. Branch, the other Branch, Zion Branch, plays safety. And look, both of them fill needs for Miami. So we will see how much Miami tries to buy those guys to come here and help the program out. But I would say going into the visit, I thought Tennessee was the favorite. We'll see what happens coming out of it.
All right, other positions, tight ends. What else? Good luck to Damian, by the way. I know he declared for the draft. He is a beast, bro.
Yeah, he came in and he cashed in, and that's what you want if you're in Miami. You want these transfers to come in and play really, really well and shine so that the next guy wants to come in here and be a part of it. So that's a good thing for Miami. A couple other names to know. One of them is a receiver, Noah Thomas from Texas A&M, a guy who had close to 40 catches this past season, 6'6", 200 pounds. Scored 2 touchdowns in the bowl loss to USC. Big target, potentially a guy that could end up here. A couple other names to know at tight end because Miami did lose Riley Williams in the transfer portal. Tulane's Alex Bauman, veteran guy, 20 catches last year, 7 touchdowns. And then a kid out of Tennessee, Holden Stays, who signed with Notre Dame coming out of high school. Not big production guys at the tight end position, but Miami is losing Cam McCormick after 20 years in college. So you need a big blocking guy, certainly, because Elijah Lofton can be the guy who catches the ball a ton out of that position and is highly productive. But you want a guy who can block and be a big body. And so that's what I think they're looking at there. One more name to know, James Brockermeyer, center from TCU, started 12 games this past season. He was an Alabama signee coming out of high school, looking for his third school, looking for a payday, always looking to solidify your offensive line with more veterans, especially because of injuries. So if you can get Brockermeyer, good job for Miami. They got a center another sort of transfer center who can just come in, big plug in and play, and then you keep a Joel Rodriguez and other guys around as backups who can come in a pinch.
Brockermeyer. That sounds like a guy with a ball of chew.
Yes.
Who's like 325 pounds, looks at you, spits, and then just grabs you and slams you to the ground. You got to sign that guy. That's it. Brockemeyer.
100%, man.
If that doesn't sound like an ass-kicking lineman name, I don't know what sounds like an ass-kicking lineman. Brockemeyer. I mean, Jesus Christ. What do you got going on in the Athletics so folks can check you out?
Well, I just came back from the Under Armour All-American game, and people are asking me all the time, what are these kids really making, Manny? How much money? What are they getting the first day they step on campus? Well, Grace Rayner and I spent probably all day this week. I want to say Sunday afternoon, talking to guys at the All-American game that were there doing media day stuff, and we got price ranges, brother. We got price ranges for just about every position of high school All-Americans, and some of these guys, I mean. Talking about defensive linemen, base price at a major Power 4 program, getting $250,000 the day they walk in the door there. You've got long snappers making between $10,000 and $30,000 a semester. Long snappers getting paid to come and do that.
So basically what you're telling me is you and Grace ended up drinking a case of liquor. You ended up in a straitjacket in a rubber room going, what the fuck did we do with our lives, right? Is that what you said?
Absolutely, man. It's quite eye-opening to see what these guys are doing. And the amazing thing, is how many of these guys don't even have agents.
Going, how much Bitcoin can I buy? You know, that's kind of what I'm doing.
That's right. But listen, it gives you the story. Check it out. It's on theathletic.com. It's a good look into recruiting, what kind of money these guys are getting, what kind of money they're leaving on the table to sign with the schools that they sign with, because not all of them take the biggest payday. And so I think some of them are leaving money on the table because they just like a particular school more than another. So it's an interesting read for you. And every year, Grace and I go to the Under Armour game and put this thing together. So this is a third installment. You can go back and even see the ones from the previous years to get a good gauge of what's happening.
Just make sure you and Grace continue to go to Alcoholics Anonymous so you can kind of stay straight. You get too depressed about these things when you get there, because this 18-year-old punk is clearing $500 million in the next month. Son of a bitch, what am I doing with my life? Oh my God. That kind of stuff. So hang in there, bro. That's got to be tough. That's got to be tough.
A lot of editors who read that story were pretty upset after reading it. So
we're all hanging from all different kinds of buildings all over the place. Like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro and catch his work there at The Athletic. Better yet, subscribe so you can subscribe and find out how broke we are compared to these people. Anyway, there you go. Manny, have a great weekend, my brother. We'll catch up on Tuesday, my friend. Thank you.
Take care, brother. See you.
Got it. BigCheeseMiami.com. Go see Gary, man, and Billy. They do amazing work for 40 plus years now. The lasagna, the baked ziti, all of that. Man, let me tell you, the pies are out of control. So go on down there, check it out. 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. The garlic rolls are to die for. Literally, they are to die for. In fact, if you've never had them, then that's the problem with you. Because once you've had them, then the next time you're going to go, hey, let's go to Big Cheese. Oh, I can't wait to have the garlic rolls. Like, that's just kind of the way it goes. Once you've had it, you're like, oh my God, they are to die for. So remember, party platters are also available. Any dish can become a party platter. So if you want to, treat your employees or clients or school or anything like that, reach out to them, 305-662-6855. But treat your friend, your family, your coworkers, your business partner, your loved one to a great meal at the Big Cheese, 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. Go to the website, BigCheeseMiami.com.
You've been listening to the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. At the Big Cheese Miami, they continue to purchase the same high-quality ingredients that the most expensive Italian restaurants use. The difference is they serve large portions at a family price. Visit the Big Cheese at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue in Miami. Call 305-662-6855 or go to thebigcheesemiami.com. Go Canes!